I decided at 49 to do something that nobody would expect, not even me. I had a friend who had lost her husband to a brain tumor, and she and I were doing a little bit of exercise on a daily basis. She was training for a triathlon. I didn't even really know how to swim. What I used to do is not drown, is how I described my water skills. And after her first triathlon, I had a surprise party for her. She came straight from the airport to my house and we surprised her. And she walked into the house and she says, you can do this. And in front of 60 people, I say, okay. And then I thought, what have I done? But okay, I really wanted to do something different, so I'm doing it. I get to the race in Disney World and the buoys are 300 yards apart. And I practiced 100 yards apart. So I get into the water and I'm swimming and I make it to the first buoy, 300 yards. I only have 9 more buoys to go, by the way. I'm holding on to the buoy, so excited with myself. And this cute little lifeguard comes over in a boat and she says, ma'am, will you please get into my boat? You will not finish the race. And I said, can't you see that I'm hanging on to the first buoy? I only have 8 more buoys to go. Sweet as ever, she says, ma'am, you will not finish the race. Would you please get into my boat? And I said, you want me to give up? And she said, ma'am, you will not finish the race. Would you please get into my boat? I said, you can go to hell. I am not getting into your boat. I don't care if you have to drag my body out of this water. And it took me 1 hour and 45 minutes to swim a mile. It is unheard of in the swim world. People who are swimmers, they look at me and say, why? Why would you do that to yourself? It didn't matter. I finished the swim. I did the bike. I did the run. I was last. Out of a field of 1,700 people, I was dead last. But I finished. And I remember so clearly, I was running into the last part of the, actually not even running, just barely shuffling. And some lady came out of the spectators and she goes, hi, how are you doing? And I was like, lady, just shut up, I am so tired. And she said, guess what kind of medal the first person got? And I'm thinking, why are you telling me what kind of medal the first person got? She said, the first person got the same medal you're gonna get. So smile, pick your shoulders up, cross that finish line like a winner, because I don't want to see a loser on camera. You should see my picture. I look like, hey, this was great. And then I collapsed. 5 hours on my feet and I collapsed. But at age 50 and 2 days old, I was a triathlete, an Olympic distance triathlete, a mile swim, a 25-mile bike, and a 6-mile run. I did it. At this stage of the game, here it is 7 years after that date, I look back and I say, what did I learn that day? And here's what I learned. If it's worth doing, it doesn't matter how long it takes. It really doesn't. When I first started coaching, everybody was building these massive businesses and I was just barely struggling. It's okay, now I have a foundation. So what, it took me 6 years. It took me 20 years to come back to that bridge. So what? If it's worth doing, if it's worth it to you, take your time and do it. And for all the naysayers in your life, let them speak. They will always have something to say. So here's the other thing I want to ask you. What is not an option in your life? Is it an option to continue to accept abuse, or is that not an option anymore? Is it an option to not use your God-given skills and talents, or is that still an option? When you look in the mirror, can you say, yesterday I kicked butt in my life? Or do you say, I don't remember what I did. I didn't really do anything. And here's what else I know. We cannot change the beginning, we can change the ending. So here's the third challenge. I challenge you to work to the end that you envision. But here's the bridge. What is the vision? So the vision is the bridge, and the action are the little tiny steps towards the end. Because guess what, guys? The end is coming for all of us. So shouldn't we go out big and bold and bright? I'm asking you, take a chance. Look ridiculous, so big deal. What do you have to lose?